Sonic the Hedgehog made its debut on the Sega Megadrive in 1991. Designed as Sega's answer to Mario, the first game and its sequels, Sonic 2 and 3, the unique expansion Sonic and Knuckles, and the slightly underappreciated Sonic CD helped define Sega's 16-bit era. What was the name of Sonic's human girlfriend before she was removed from the game during the development? Launching in Japan on July 23rd, Sega rolled out a brand new mascot in a market that was basically run by Nintendo and big third-party studios. Just a few days before Sonic showed up, Konami dropped Gambari Goemon on the Super Famicom, and that moved over 300,000 copies. Not long after that, Square released Final Fantasy IV, the first Super Famicom installment of its major RPG series, and that sold over 600,000 copies. Once Sonic was out, things calmed down a bit. Games like 1941 Counterattack on the SuperGrafx and Bomber King on the Game Boy both sold under 100,000 copies. Even with all that heavy hitter competition around launch, Sonic still managed about 230,000 copies, which is a pretty strong start for Sega's new character. We asked, what was the name of Sonic's human girlfriend before she was removed from the game during development? The answer was Madonna. And yes, it is weird. The North American release hit on June 23rd. That was about a month before it launched in Japan. Sega was pitching the Genesis as the faster, more edgy alternative to the NES. In the weeks leading up to Sonic's release, there was some pretty solid competition, like Dynablaster on the Game Boy and Battletoads on the NES, and they both sold over 500,000 units. After Sonic showed up, the competition didn't hit right away, but when it did, it came in strong. Castlevania II Belmont's Revenge launched in August on the Game Boy and also cleared 500,000 copies, but the biggest threat by far came later that month with Super Mario World on the brand new SNES, which ended up selling millions. Even with that kind of pressure, Sonic still moved around 1.8 million copies, turning it into a major win for Sega. One of the biggest things about early Sonic was how it handled movement. Unlike most platformers at the time, Sonic was built around momentum. If you tore downhill, you'd pick up speed. Steep slopes and loops only really worked if you kept that speed going. The game has a smooth, fast flow, where levels feel more alive, and if you got good at it, nailed the speed, the timing and control, you were rewarded with an even better experience. Can you tell me, what's the name of Tails' aeroplane? Answer after the next section. Sonic landed in Europe on July 23rd, the same day as Japan, right as Sega was making a pretty bold move to take on Nintendo. Before Sonic came out, the competition was honestly pretty weak. A few weeks earlier, games like The Adventures of Rad Gravity and Barker Bill's Trick Shooting hit the NES, and neither sold particularly well. But once Sonic arrived, Nintendo didn't wait long to respond with some heavy hitters. Dr. Mario came out just 4 days later, and it sold somewhere between 700,000 and 1.2 million copies. Then in August, Super Mario Bros. 3 finally launched in Europe, and that went on to sell between 2.5 and 4.3 million units. Even with that kind of pressure though, Sonic still moved around 750,000 copies, helping Sega look like a real competitor in Europe instead of just a distant second place. We asked, what was the name of Tails' airplane? The answer was, of course, Tornado. Sonic's look was an instant classic. The levels were bright and full of character, from the tropical vibes of Green Hill Zone to the industrial mayhem of Scrap Brain. Every stage felt different, and they remain memorable to this day. As was the style at the time, Sega gave themselves a mascot with a bit of a rebellious edge, which was a perfect contrast to Nintendo's more classic, squeaky clean characters. CVG in the UK said that Sonic had a real sense of speed and great music, while Mean Machine stated that Sonic was the best looking Megadrive game they'd seen yet. In Japan, Beat praised the platformer, saying it was truly an action game full of speed, worthy of becoming the face of Sega. In the US, Boogeyman of GamePro called the backgrounds and artwork of the game gorgeous. Sonic was very well received by the gaming press. Joining Sega in 1984, Sonic the Hedgehog series co-creator Yuji Naka played a huge role in the series' early days. Starting with Girls' Garden for the SG-1000, Naka impressed with the technical achievements of his first game. Serving then as a programmer over the next year on several Sega Master System titles, including Hokuto no Ken, which would release as Black Belt internationally. His next major role would be serving as a lead programmer and producer on the first two titles in the seminal sci-fi RPG series Phantasy Star, and as a programmer on the Megadrive version of Ghouls and Ghosts. This experience would serve as a great start in the games industry, which I'm sure is still... yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Sound and music design plays a huge role in Sonic's identity. The soundtrack blends upbeat melodies and strong rhythmic energy that matches the game's fast pace. Each zone has its own memorable theme, helping players connect emotionally with the environment. Combined with satisfying sound effects for the rings, the jumps, speed boosts, the audio design reinforced Sonic's sense of excitement and momentum. Over more than 3 decades, Sonic's back catalogue has shown constant evolution. The original Sonic the Hedgehog trilogy on the Mega Drive defined fast-paced platforming and introduced iconic mechanics to the series like spin dashing and layered level design. Spin-offs like Sega Sonic the Hedgehog in the arcade, Sonic R, Sonic 3D Blast, and Triple Trouble experimented with new perspectives and gameplay styles. The series leapt into 3D with Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, expanding storytelling and character variety. Handheld hits like Sonic Advance Trilogy and Sonic Rush kept the classic speed alive for portable players in the early 2000s, while entries like Shadow the Hedgehog and the 2006 Sonic the Hedgehog reboot took creative risks. Racing titles and Olympic crossovers broadened Sonic's reach and appeal. More recently, Sonic Generations, Sonic Mania, and Sonic X Shadow Generations celebrate both the classic and the modern era, showing Sonic's lasting legacy. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this and want to see a bit more, stay tuned for some more videos coming real soon.